Ray making a mess out of it?
Yeah.
Our guy throwing coffee all over the table.
That's the.
So I like these chairs, but there's blind spots now. I'm trying to figure out who was back there.
Yeah, that's right.
Pat, he'll be online.
Yeah, can
There you are.
you hear me? Am I,
I can.
is the video on? Okay, join, okay, I see.
But I hear you.
Yes. There's your picture.
Okay, and the audio is there, you think?
Yep, I can see you now.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Where's the book?
Book is.
The sign book? Oh, I just put it up there.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure.
I wrote it in as to, yeah,
Nope, not anymore.
okay, we're good. Did everything work out?
We have a couple of the cover call, so they're working on there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Waterproof.
They offer it very thankfully.
Well tested.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun?
So. Anybody else need to sign in to make comment? That's the sound of there.
I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Thank you all very much for coming out tonight. I would invite you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag, of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, public comment. Where is that board? Chuck, looks like you're up first. Make sure you introduce yourself for the records, please.
I don't need to stand there. I'm Chuck Oldfield, live here in Stevenson. I want to thank you for your time this evening. I'd like to address a motion that will be brought before council tonight regarding the approval of a proposed budget allocation to our county sheriff's office. I sent a more comprehensive statement to council about my concerns this evening, and it's also a part of the council's agenda packet posted on the city's website. I encourage you to read it. Time constraints dictate that I simply address some of the salient points. My letter delineated a definitive breakdown of cost allocation based on call volume by our sheriff's office. Councilmember Rice wrote me a thoughtful response regarding this issue. And I'd like to acknowledge that there are many complicated calculations that go into budget negotiations. The intent of my example was, however, to illustrate the fact that our city uses roughly 20% of the sheriff's department's resources and contributes only roughly about 10% of the needed revenue to make that happen. In speaking directly with our mayor and Sheriff Shire, among others, there was a general consensus that the negotiation was contentious. And the sheriff's office provided services under the auspices of the county seat. The city has no executive authority over it. We simply contract for its services. And I would contend, therefore, like any good business relationship, that the city has an obligation to make sure that it's mutually beneficial. This contract also provides for a reduction in services, and specifically, there would no longer be any animal control services, and most notably, there would be no longer any code enforcement provided. While the necessities for these services is minimal, they are nonetheless essential to a growing community. Not providing these services means that there are no solutions for stray or even dangerous animals, no solutions for noise abatement, no solutions for vagrancy or city camping or health violations, no solutions for CCNR regulations, no solutions for traffic control or ticketing should the city decide to institute parking regulations. The list goes on. Unless there are state RCWs, law enforcement will not be available. In the future, law enforcement would only be required to respond to actionable criminal complaints. I'm urging council to vote no on this contract. Further, I would suggest that council make a motion to provide a continuing resolution to fund our sheriff's office during a period of continued negotiation. Going forward, negotiations should be done in concert with the mayor's and the city administrator's offices, and possibly even an advocate for the sheriff's office. It would be my hope that a future contract be negotiated with kind and thoughtful consideration, and that no services be eliminated for our growing community. We should be thinking about the health of our sheriff's office and how it can best serve our needs, not strapping them with trying to figure out how to cut expenses and services to meet an untenable budget constraint.
Thank you, Chuck. Mary, you want to tell us about some stuff?
Yes, and thank you. First, I want to thank you, Mayor, and Mike for serving our community for the years that you've served. Anytime anyone puts themselves forward for civil service, it's a great thing for the community. So thank you very much for your service to our community, and I wish you the best in your future endeavors. And I hope you are not strangers to City Hall in the future. It really bothers me sometimes when our elected officials just disappear and we never see them again in the community. So I hope you stay involved with us, with the whole community. Second, our Columbia River is being asked to give a lot. She is being asked to have a transmission line plowed down the middle of her bones. That is the FSEC project. You'll be addressing that a little bit further. The Klickitat pump station, which will ruin some tribal cultural artifacts and other things, and is not a necessity for energy production. 4 nuclear reactors that Amazon is proposing upriver for their data centers. And it goes on and on. And this river works a lot for the humanity that uses it. And it's time to stop trying to stress the system. We don't need a transmission line down the middle of the Columbia River. And I'll be working hard to bury that project. Data centers, we don't need data centers. I can live without data centers. Everybody can live without data centers. We cannot live without clean water and clean air and without the resources that keep us alive. So I urge you all to really get involved in keeping the Columbia River as she is at this moment. If not, we need to work a little harder to make it cleaner too. There are a lot of toxins in that river right now. And you all know about the EPA cleanup down at Bonneville. So there's a lot of stressors on our natural resources, but data centers are evil. That's going to be my line in 2026. You do not need AI. You do not need data centers. You need people to be employed and make a living wage. And that's something we all need to be working on. Human beings need money to live, and data centers aren't your friend or our friend either. So thank you very much. Again, I want to thank all of you for your service to your community. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Be in harmony, and may serenity surround you.
Thank you, Mary. All right, that's all I have on my list. Does anybody else like to speak? Go ahead.
Sam Kingston, Stevenson. I just want to say thank you to the council members and all the work you've done, like Marion. Been great to get to know you for this time, and good luck in the future, and welcome to the new council members, and good luck in the future. So let's just keep on rolling.
Ron, thank you. Anyone else? All right, we do have a change to the agenda. Ray wants to provide an update before we get into city council business. Next up is the consent agenda. I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
There's a small issue in the resolution on banking services in the first paragraph. This is 2025, January 1, 2025 instead of 26.
Oh,
Copy paste. Gosh, dang it.
I will move to approve consent agenda items A through D with that correction.
Scrivener. Yes. Fix. Second. The first and second, any discussion?
Yes,
Okay.
on the minutes, within the minutes, I believe was highlighted in under the consent agenda 4E said no vote was observed or heard by council members Cox and Mason. We both voted aye on that, and you both see us both vote that.
Mr. Cox, I can't quite hear you. I'm sorry, which line item in the minutes?
4E.
Thank you, sir.
I'll make that correction.
Okay,
What was it that? Mr. Cox?
well, it says that there was no vote observed
Okay,
for both
And they were both.
Pat and I, and we both voted aye on that.
got it. Thank you.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any
I,
opposed? Thank you. All right, sheriff's report. Tracy here?
No.
Are you doing the sheriff's report?
Hi, sorry. This guy.
That guy.
Bad in class. So I just want to let everybody know, obviously, we activated the EOC yesterday. And the County Board of Commissioners did declare an emergency, signed off shortly after 5 p.m. last night. I was actively working the EOC from 6:30 this morning until I just left here for this meeting. We've had some great volunteers come in to be able to assist us and be able to get more information out. With that declaration, it does help us and hopefully gaining some funding for city damages. I've been in contact with Cody today so that we can track those damages or whatever may be occurring throughout the county in both cities and the county to be able to hopefully get some funding back eventually. I'm not holding my breath, but it does come in. So we're just tracking all of those costs. We've been in communication with all of the stakeholders involved. We will have a stakeholder meeting at 10 a.m. and everybody's been invited that needs to sit in on that. So hopefully we'll have more information. Just praying that this slows down. Anything of concern, I obviously don't do this very often. Under Sheriff Wyckoff could not be here tonight. And then obviously I would have already planned, so it worked out perfectly. Anything of concern in the call volume or anything that he sends over. All right, and lastly, Mayor, thank you for your service. Councilman Johnson, thank you for your service. I appreciate both of you. You guys have been amazing as I've sat here and in communicating with you. It's been a pleasure to work with you and thank you.
Thank you. All right, Ray, you have an update for us?
Not a whole lot. We had a productive meeting at the joint meeting with the fire district. A couple things. I do have the preliminary WSRB audit. Our score is really close to staying the same. If you don't know the state's method to the math, if you're a 5.01, you're a 6. So we are a 5.125. So we got to work on a couple things to keep us at the same level we're at right now, 5. And unfortunately, the state added a few things that makes it impossible for volunteer fire departments to do. Like, we're never going to have our own training center here. We're never going to be able to meet the new state requirement of 20 hours per month individual structure fire training, but we still score very high for a volunteer fire department, being a 5. Like the sheriff said, state of emergency. Our team is ready to help, even if it's manpower requests, sandbags, people needing out of houses, anything. So we've been in contact with Barb. I've been in contact with my leadership team. We have a plan in place, whether it's local or going out for mutual aid to help people wherever the help is needed. And then the new interlocals out for signatures. We got that tidied up a couple weeks ago. Just a couple minor things pertaining to the apparatus schedule and then just the one fee schedule or the one of the appendices that should have been removed completely with Robert and then Aaron, the rural district's attorney, approving everything. So you should have that this week to sign it. Our attorney and the head of the fire commissioner, the chairperson of the fire commissioners for the rural district have signed it. Any questions?
No.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we're moving into council business. We have resolution for salary scale approval for 2026. Are we doing staff report? Just, okay,
Just suffice it to say that the only increase here is for the cost of living adjustment, which is 2.6. Yeah. At 2.7%. Those are the only changes on the scale.
I'll move to approve resolution 2025-463, setting the city staff salary scale for 2026.
I'll second.
first and second, any discussion?
Just
Well, go ahead, Pat.
Oh, I just wanted to, there were two numbers in the packet, 2.6% and 2.7. And so and so we're approving this based on 2.7. So, I mean, which one of those numbers is probably which of those is accurate, I guess is what I'm saying, based on the CPI?
It's a 2.7. Sorry, that was a typo on my end.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Sure.
And are these salaries already included in the 2026 budget?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
and the
these
reason
are
that I ask that is because the salary schedules don't match up with the salary amounts in the 2026 budget for individuals. And I'm curious as to why that is.
Which numbers, it's like our individual pay.
For positions, yes.
Some people have additional percentages if they have additional certifications, so there's.
Okay, I'm talking administrative. Both yours and Wes's don't match up to the salary schedule at all. And so that's why I'm curious as to why that is. If they're already in the budget, and this is the salary schedule that we're using, then why is that not match up to the budget?
Did that have to do with the error on the spreadsheet?
I would have to look at why. Where our placement is.
Yeah, but we'll have to take a look, but the salary scale here is accurate, and if the numbers in the budget don't reflect that, then we'll need to make that change. But I'm not sure, I haven't seen that conversion to say if it is or not.
Okay.
But if it is, we'll make sure to change it the appropriate.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a point.
If you'd like me to meet with you at some point too, to show you what I'm talking about.
Sure, yeah,
I'd be more than happy to do that.
okay,
Go ahead,
thanks,
Pat.
Dave.
Okay, I'm going to support this tonight, this cost of living increase. So that having been said, in the future, what I'd like to see, if other council members and the new mayor agree with me, for the top administrative staff, raises based on a performance metric of some type that we would come up with. So I know that year after year, it's been automatically approved based on CPI, but I think for our top paid people, maybe just my view is having a performance metric in there based on an evaluation done by the mayor or whoever might be a good thing. Is it just something, food for thought for the future? Anyway, thank you.
Okay, well, usually that's broken up, so there's cost of living, and then you can add an additional amount for performance metrics if you like. But
Or
typically keep
not
those
give a
separate.
cost of, and I'm trying to say, or in the future, if we have a employee that we don't want to give a cost of living to, in other words, separate it out to where the top administrative staff don't necessarily get an automatic pay increase, a cost of living if we don't think they deserve it. Because right now it's always across the board, where sometimes you think, hey, the people out sweeping the streets or in the snowstorms deserve it, but maybe at times the council may not feel that the top one of the top employees necessarily deserves even a cost of living increase. So anyway, that's my point. But I'm going to be supporting this proposal tonight.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Thank you.
5-0.
Yes. I will. All right, Robert, are you the next couple? Next
Cool.
few? Or are you doing the staff report?
Oh, I actually generated one in writing and I sent it to Wes. Let me see if I can remember off the top of my head. I didn't bring it with me. I didn't print it out. We have 4 separate interlocal agreements. Do you want them one by one for the vote?
I
'Cause you will need.
just told you were doing the staff report, so.
Did you put that in the packet?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's in the packet, what I came up with. I didn't have all the prior interlocal agreements to give you exactly where the adjustments were. There were 2 that I had that were current. So the packet has the information as to the increases in those 2 respective agreements.
Where is that at in the packet, Wes?
It should be right below, 6B.
Dave, if you're looking at page numbers, it's page number 27 out of 115. If it, 27 out of 115, if that's
Okay.
the way you're looking at your packet.
It's on page
Right?
33.
Oh, you're not, that's the first interlocal.
That's the
Yeah.
first agreement.
Right,
Yeah.
and then right below it is the,
Oh, the actual breakdown of
staff
them.
memo.
There it
Gotcha,
is.
there it is, yeah.
So I provided to council members and staff a memorandum that simply summarizes the general terms of each agreement. First one being the law enforcement for sheriff services. I've identified which services are provided in the new agreement. I did note the 3 items that are removed from the prior agreement, which is enforcement of city ordinances, animal control, mental health services. Then you'll see the new cost is $321,457.60 for 2026. That's paid in 12 monthly installments. That is an increase from last year's contract by the CPI adjustment of 3.2, as well as an additional $10,000. Any questions on the sheriff agreement before I go to the next one? I just don't want to throw it all out there at once.
I'd just like to note that you've got 2021's cost in there, 176,
That was the last agreement I had to refer to.
but the current contract was at 308,100.
Right, the new contract, yes, sir. So, yeah, because I only have 2021 in my packet. When I went on to the Muni code thing,
Yeah.
they're like missing,
Good
there's,
luck with that.
yeah, so. So we all understand the pain of trying to find the old ones.
Yes.
Next agreement is for the municipal court services. Obviously Judge Rainier had to sign off on this, so there's some new metrics in there. There's also an identification of the services that will be provided. The cost for the municipal court services is now $2,500 a month, so it's a $30,000 annual for those base services. This one does have an annual increase of 3% beginning in 2027. So if council wants to come back and then say something and say November of 2026, to do that, obviously, the sooner we have a chance to sit down with Judge Rainier, or assuming he's still the judge, is he up next year? I can't remember if he's up.
He will be up for next year, and it's likely that he was,
I
I
heard
don't know. I don't think he's making it a secret that he's likely to not run for reelection.
So we may have a new district court judge for us for the 2027 term. Third agreement is the prosecuting attorney services. Again, I tried to outline what the contract provides for in services. It has a cost amount of $2,000 per month. So it's less than the court. Mr. Kick is still the prosecutor of the office. I believe he still will be there for 2026 as well. That contract also has a 3% increase starting January 1, 2027. Note it's a $500 a month increase from the 2024 contract. last one is the probation services terms. We had input from Chris Wood, who is the head of the probation officer, office. He provided that additional information, has the services that are provided outlined in the contract. It's $1,900 per month for those probation services, also with an annual 3% increase if it goes into 2027. Those are the 4 contracts that are before you. In terms of the terms and conditions that are in the new ones, I would like to say thank you to Mr. Kick and to Summer Sheriff Shire. They met with me graciously. They're very supportive of the city and the city's efforts. They want to work continuously with the city. It was a pleasure to negotiate with both of them on those contracts. Any questions?
I do on the probation.
Yes, sir.
That the increase on this probation is $10,800 a year. What it works out to. And so I guess my question is, what is that based on? What are the not only the deliverables, but the metrics that went into deciding that we needed to come up with another $10,800 for this contract?
Mr. Kick, do you want to jump in first?
So the amount of the increase is the reason it seems larger than the other increases is because if you remember, a year ago was the very first time that the probation office asked, or the county actually asked for the city to pay anything for the probation services. And we had a relatively long conversation last year about the reasons behind that and the kind of the changes in the law over the last 4 or 5 years that have resulted in a lot more people basically being unable to pay their own probation fees. And so if you remember, there's like 2 aspects to where probation, who pays for probation. Probationers sometimes pay for their own probation. So for example, if I were to get charged with a crime and put on probation, I work full time and I make plenty of money, and the court should impose the full amount of probation on me, or probation fees for me. And so I would pay those to the court. The court would get very convoluted, but the court then pays them to Stevenson, and then Stevenson, because by law those fees have to go back to the probation office, then sends them back to the county for the probation budget. But that's a really small amount. A relatively very small number of people actually end up paying their own probation fees. And so again, last year was the first year we asked for the city to basically do the same thing the county's doing for county cases, which is, pay for the probation services where people are indigent and can't pay for it themselves. And last year we wanted to start it really slowly because we'd never asked for it before. So we only asked for $1,000 a month, which at the time, I think I estimated to be about a quarter of what the actual amount would be if we were going to recoup the entire cost of probation fees. And so this year, when we re-upped all these together, and I think even last year when we talked about this with the city council sort of encouraged us to like look at all these at the same time and kind of sort of negotiate them all at the same time. We thought it was appropriate to get a better and more accurate number in terms of what the city's share would be. It's still, I would say, at $1,900 a month, that's a little less than what, $24,000 a year. That's still about 50% of what the actual cost of supervising Stevenson defendant probationers is for the county. So our costs are related, and that doesn't even consider the kind of the risk associated with it, or the actual physical kind of supplies that are necessary for it. It's really just looking at the 2 employees that we have, how much they cost the county, and what percentage of their work is done on behalf of the city. And it's about it varies year to year, but 18 to 20% of all of our cases are city cases. And our probation officer, Chris Wood, was kind enough to he sent some documentation of they're really annual reports. There's an annual report that shows how many people are on probation, basically at any particular time. It's got a January 1 number, the number of people that are placed onto probation during the year, the number of people who are taken off probation during the year, and then the number of people at the end of the year. And then it does the same thing for just City of Stevenson cases. And it ends up, again, it's going to vary year to year. It's not going to be exact, but we've had years when we did this last year, I think the numbers came out to about 20 or 21%. This year, I think maybe it might have gone down to 18%, but it varies around that number. So, the 24,000, a little less than $24,000 a month that we're asking the city, what was it?
I said 24,000 a year.
A year, thank you.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, 24,000 a month would be a lot of money, but thanks, Michael. Would be again it's about half of what our total costs are. So again, we're not we're trying to be generous with the city. We're not trying to eke out every single nickel and dime that we can, because we also acknowledge that there's an advantage to the county. We may not be able to have two probation officers if we weren't also doing this for the city. So there's benefits to the collaboration on both sides of that. So anyway, that's why that number is bigger, because like for many years, basically we didn't charge the county did all of that subsidy. And so it feels like we're catching up more on that one than we're catching up on the other ones, which we've been doing for, I think 10-ish years plus 10+ years on the other ones, and really haven't had any significant increase on those for that entire 10 years. That's why all of the increases seem more significant than the 3% that we're building into the future years. I hope that helps.
It does. Just a quick comment. When we were negotiating this contract last year, one of the things that we had requested as a city council was to get some kind of reports in regards to those types of things, and we have not received any of those. And so I guess my question is, and that's what makes me question this $10,800, is because there's no backup to that. And so that's why I'm concerned that we haven't gotten any information about it. We don't know what the metrics are as far as coming up with the additional money. And that's why I was bringing it up.
Mr. Kick and I actually discussed that. We did put in there this year, I'm trying to find it on the fly. I apologize.
Well, so for what it's worth, I actually think that Mr. Wood does send the city a monthly report. And so if you guys, Wes sent you guys, I think all forwarded an email I sent to Wes, which has the 2024 and 2025 year, full year stats for the office, for again, the full county, and then for the city. That report can be done monthly, and it was my impression, and if it's not being done, again, just my misimpression, but I thought that our probation officer, Chris Wood, was actually sending that monthly report to the city each month when they sent. I don't know if they're sending an invoice or exactly how the billing is going back and forth, but and certainly we will do that. It's again, relatively straightforward to provide that. The other part of the report that we don't have, but I think that, and it may actually be referenced, we may actually reference it in the agreement, although I can't remember precisely, but is that I can't remember the term that Mr. Wood uses for these, but like the amount of money that we get each month from the probationers themselves when they're paying, the ones that are able to pay for their own, that amount that comes through, that's going to be a number that should be a sort of a monthly amount that that everybody should be aware of and keep track of. And so in an ideal world, we would like those numbers
to add up to about $40,000 a year. We don't think they're going to, but if they did, obviously, and if there were more than that, then the city, I think, could legitimately come back to us and say, hey, I think we're paying you too much now. So, again, that 40,000 based on sort of a rough estimate of our today's cost, but I think all of those things are actually, like, either the city has these documents, or if the city wants, our probation office can take the same documents that they get from the court on these. And I think the city gets the same document though, but they can include that in the monthly report, so.
And I'm just frustrated that we have these interlocals and we don't have any backup documentation to verify that those are the actual figures we should be working with. And that's why my frustration is so, you know, Wes, if you've got those emails, they should have been, you know, whoever gets them, they should be forwarded to us within the.
Yeah, I don't receive those. I mean, they may have gone to Liana, but I'm not sure. I didn't know that they were even there.
Okay.
Scott, I think,
Rob.
there has his hand up.
Okay.
Yeah, in regards to that report out, I've been trying to champion that on the county side as well. And, you know, each time I bring it up, Mr. Woods, you know, reassures me that he is sending those with the monthly, those reports with the monthly invoice. So, you know, I would be really interested to see, you know, where the gap is there. You know, if it needs to be an email distribution, you know, to council or to Wes, and then he can distribute it down. We'll be more than happy to iron out that and improve that communication, because it, you know, I do remember that part of the negotiation last year. You know, and I think it's important that you do have that month-to-month data, so you can see, you know, the trending, and you can be informed on what the services are that we're providing.
And it allows us, Rob, to, if we have to do a supplemental budget at some point to bolster that contract, we have that data currently available. So thank you.
Yeah, I agree there. It's really important that, you know, the data is going to drive us, right? We don't want the wags out there. You know, the wild guesses. We want to drive everything on data to make sure we're heading the right way, you know, for the city and the county.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Cox, the agreement specifically requires each monthly invoice to include an active case count report.
The new one.
This is, and I've got it right in there in
Yes.
paragraph 6, and it also requires an invoice for any remittances or charges that they're trying to charge back.
That was
So-
where I was gonna come up with remittances. Thank you.
So when the invoice comes in and it goes to, you know, financial, it should end up either in the voucher packet attached to the invoice, or, and if it needs to be called out and put in part of your packet, it's simply something staff would need to do.
Okay, thank you.
But Mr. Wood should be providing that with each invoice.
Thank you.
And
Mr. Rice?
Mr. Muth, I have a question. Number one, I want to thank you for negotiating on behalf of the city these 3 agreements. And I'm inclined to, I have questions about them, but I'm inclined to vote yes to support them, just because I have faith that you did a good job. You did the best you could in the negotiations. So I'm willing to.
It's tough when you have to sit in Mr. Kick's office. You feel like some sheriff, like Mr.
Yeah.
Shire, can come in and arrest me. So I didn't know how much stroke I really had in that room.
I've sat in that office before, so I know it's tough. So
I'm waiting to get stuck in that mailbox.
but anyway, but that having been said, we got the discussion over on on that one contract, because I agree with the sentiments expressed, and I appreciate also Commissioner Ferris's points backing that up. On the other 2 agreements, the only thing I saw in the packet, and I've been asking, I asked Wes for this, the only data I saw in the packet on court cases and stuff was covered the whole county, and it didn't break it out by city. So when I looked at that packet numerous times, I didn't see anything broken out to what the city's stuff was. So I don't want to get into what I felt was missing now, because I'm happy to send an email. But what I'm asking for is, can we have a good faith effort going forward that the data that we need will be there? Now, I don't know if you sent more data into the city that we haven't gotten, but just I'd like to know, is there a commitment to where, if we want to know, well, how many court cases are there that were even under this contract that were prosecuted in the year or during the year on each of those things, the metrics. Something, if you looked up, if you did a Google search, what's good due diligence for this contract? What would you want to know to approve it? Just those basic things. Like, yes, this many people got arrested. Same thing like with code enforcement. Yes, we worked on these 3 code things. So just data. So I'll probably be voting yes on all 3 of these. But just keep that in mind, and I ask for that commitment on your part to improve the data going forward.
And Mr. Rice, just following up on that, there were 2 conversations that Mr. Kick and I had. One is, what information can we get from the court? Judge
Yes.
Rainier's court, and is it an all day click and you print it out? Or is that data that's in Grace Cross's office, who's the clerk of court? And that would be a separate relationship because they aren't tied. So we have talked about whether or not who has that specific data, and if we need to get it from the clerk's office, we may have to have a separate little, just a 1-pager with them. So that is a conversation that we've had. It just we haven't completed the circle on that.
Yeah.
But, and the other thing too is, these are all interrelated. All, because if there's a citation issued by the sheriff, then district court gets it, or municipal court gets it, and prosecutor's office prosecutes it. So they're all interrelated as to taking care of business.
Yeah. And when the discussion's over, I'm prepared to make a motion.
All right, so I have a question, Sheriff. If someone currently under the current contract, if someone calls and says that the neighbor down the street is being very loud, it's after 10 o'clock, somebody will roll over, or the idea is that someone will go.
Yes.
With this new contract, can they expect a visit from the sheriff's department?
No.
So if a music festival goes late and is still playing loud and someone calls to complain about the noise, there is no recourse.
No response.
Very good.
Unless they get outside of city limits and then. If I swim out past the midpoint and then I call, we're good.
I just want to make sure that
Okay, I'm just checking.
when you guys vote on this, that seems like a pretty key piece to keeping the peace. Make sure that make sure you know what you're voting on. So eliminating code enforcement is, I have bad feelings about that, as long as you guys are clear on that.
Mr. Mayor, I think during the negotiations, of course, I mean, we understood there was no code enforcement before, there was no animal control enforcement before. The sheriff had low resources on that. So the services, same thing with mental health. So those 3 services that were spelled out for reduction in services, we really weren't getting those services anyway. So let's be clear on that. And as far as the agreement does not specify that the sheriff will not provide the service you just talked about. That was not agreed upon, is we're going to have that reduction in services, and you don't see that in the agreement.
And what it does do, Mr. Rice, is that she will provide like services that are available to those that live outside the city limits.
Yes,
So,
correct. So, Mr. Mayor, I think you mischaracterized it, but that's
So if
okay. You
there's
weren't
a
part of the
party
negotiating
down-
team, so you probably weren't aware of that.
and if there's a party down the Washougal River, somebody calls in and says, there's a party going on, is the sheriff going to respond to it?
Yeah,
If she says yes, then we should, as citizens here within the city limits, we should expect that same level of service, initial service.
and I will.
And we discussed that in negotiations.
Yes, and I will say about all of these 4 agreements is, and another thing we did with the sheriff is we made a commitment that, first of all, it's only a year contract, simply so it could be reevaluated. And we also made a commitment to work together. And if we found out during the year that something was totally unfair, we learned new information, as is true with all four of these contracts, we can amend and supplement as necessary. Because it was clear in the negotiations, the premise we had, that I think all the parties agreed to, that we were there to help each other, not to be adversarial. And so there's nothing that precludes, if we find out that there's some major error or that something is happening or some new demand has come up in 3 months, there's nothing to preclude us from any of these four agreements to in fact say, hey, this isn't right, we need to fix that.
Response?
Okay, so, Commissioner Rice, with all due respect, or, Councilman Rice, with all due respect, you're grossly mistaken about the animal control side of things. We do enforce animal control within the city of Stevenson, and there will be a significant loss to the city without it. Although we do not have animal control, we have by contract and been obligated to create and obliged by that contract. So we go get dogs, we take them to Bits and Spurs, and then we're responsible for getting them to Southwest Washington Humane Society, which we pay a boarding fee for that. We do not bill the city. So you're mistaken in that. And as far as your comments about the noise on Washougal River Road, Councilman Cox, we are so busy. I mean, we will be responding to those because the county that's part of our code enforcement. Unfortunately, we're so busy with the majority of our calls being in the city of Stevenson, we may not be able to respond.
Well, or vice versa, Sheriff. You may be in the county and won't be able to respond to the city. So it goes both ways somewhere. So I get that.
Well, this is a
And-
contract. The county does not contract with us.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yep, absolutely. And also the, as you said, the county has specific ordinances. And the city of Stevenson is within the county. So that also falls under your responsibility to make sure that there's equal law enforcement throughout the county.
Throughout the county, not the municipalities. That's why we're contractually obligated to enforce laws in those cities.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready for a motion.
Okay, so there's 4 different contracts that we're voting on. So if you'd like to make a motion, we'll start from the top.
Yeah, we need to, and Councilmember Rice, yeah, we need to do one by one since there's a dollar amount in each one.
Is it, oh, yeah, we don't have to call it there all on during the,
No, just for the
Okay.
purpose of the
Yeah, yeah,
motion,
yeah,
we need to
gotcha.
move on each
Move on each
individual
one.
contract
'Cause
with the
they're
value
not-
placed in the motion. Correct.
okay. I'll say they're not listed.
Well, I'd be prepared to make a motion on the sheriff's contract that we approve it as written.
Looking for a second.
Oh, I mean, as a second, that we're talking about,
Sheriff's contract.
sheriff's contract.
ILA 2025
12.
Thank you.
Second.
There's a first and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Nay.
I have to abstain.
So that's three
ayes.
votes, 3 ayes.
Opposed.
3-1-1.
And 1 abstain. I'll make a motion to approve ILA 2025-1210 municipal court services agreement between the city and Skamania County for municipal court services, period.
Second.
So first and a second, is there any discussion? Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Abstain.
And we have 1 abstain. Any opposed? Oh.
No, we
4-0-1.
got four ayes, yeah.
4-0-1.
All right.
Exactly.
I'll make another motion. I guess we're
You're on a roll.
we're on a roll. We're going up. Here we go. I would like to make a motion to approve the interlocal agreement 2025-1209 between the city and Skamania County for probation services, period.
Second.
First and a second, is there any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Abstain.
So we have 1 for I and 1 abstain, any opposed, so no opposed, so motion carries.
And if we're going, I'll do one more.
Do it up.
All right. I would like to make a motion to approve the interlocal agreement 2025-1204 between the city and Skamania County for prosecutorial legal services. Period.
Second.
We have a first and a second, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Abstain.
4 ayes and 1 abstain, motion carries. You do have some informational items in your,
One more thing. I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution 2025-463, this 2026.
There we go.
Oh, you're
thought we
right.
already-
Sorry.
for some reason, I thought we'd already figured that out.
Yeah, I thought we did that one second.
Okay, we have a first and a second, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
5-0.
5-0.
Good job, Dave. Sorry, I thought we did that one.
So much discussion on the other ones.
Okay.
All righty, you have some items in your informational items in your packet. We also have, do you guys just want to do written, or you have some verbal updates, or just in the packet?
Yeah, they're in the packet.
I would entertain a motion to approve the vouchers.
I'll make a motion to approve the vouchers.
How about I second it?
Right on. First and a second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, pay the
Yeah.
bills.
Quick question. There was discussion about the appointment to Washington Energy. Where is that at?
That was in the consent agenda.
Is that in the consent agenda? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, I'm sorry I missed that.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, I see it. Okay, thank you.
All right, so mayor and council reports. When do you want to do the plaque?
I think we can do it now,
All right,
if you're fine with that.
right on. So we have a plaque for Michael.
Oh. Cool. You know what else I got? I got like Scott.
Do you now?
I really need to get us shaking hands, handing each other plaques. That's pretty great.
All right, so City of Stevenson presents this plaque to Michael Johnson for dedicated service as city council member. So thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
I'm also gonna do, we got the city of Stevenson is presented Scott Anderson with this plaque for leadership, being a leader, neighbor, friend, and for the many years of service. So thank you, Scott. I was gonna take pictures of both of you. For 4 years, he's the only person who's still here. In fact, no staff, no one in this room. It was just me and Dave and Scott were together. So I would like a picture with you, and then I'd like a picture with him. So I'll do this.
Go in the.
Okay, switch.
What's that?
And then Dave, if you want to come over, I really do want a picture with you and Scott. I mean,
Aaron, do the honors.
because you know what? It was fun. Like I voted, I voted with and against, but you. Why not? Hi, Pat.
Hi.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Everyone, so.
And thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Wow. That's good.
And I would just like to say, Scott, you've done, what, 8 years?
It's May, yeah.
8 years, and you've made a lot of good progress here, so thank you very much for your leadership.
Do you have a statement? Because I do.
Wait, did we approve the vouchers? I didn't-
We did.
Right, we did.
Yep.
Yes.
5-0.
Come on, keep up
I
with
wanted,
that.
I got it.
for the greater good, I just wanted to say that I appreciate my local residents that gave me the opportunity to serve because somebody had to vote yes, or I wouldn't have been able to do it. And I appreciate that. I appreciate all the council members, past, present, and the ones who are coming in to take our places. And this is where I moved back to. This is where I'm from, and I came back because I want to raise a family here, and this is town's important to me. So I appreciate the staff and everyone for giving me the opportunity to serve And I'm excited to see, what the next round is. I think it's gonna be fun. So that's my statement, Mr. Mayor.
Since I've been mayor, there have been 4 city administrators, both active and acting. 4 public works heads, and we have done some pretty amazing things, some things that stuck out. There's a litany of things, but some of the things that really stuck out for me, our little town successfully completed a $14 million wastewater treatment plant upgrade. We have seen some great revitalization efforts downtown with our partners, the Stevenson Downtown Association. And the one that tickles me the most is that the first year I was here, I noticed that some trees got cut down because they got to be a certain age and they're going to start taking apart the sidewalk, and that stopped immediately. So now for the first time ever, we have trees that are starting to grow into the streetlights. So we have to prune the trees now because they're blocking the streetlight. So this is a stump speech that I give all the time, so I'm glad that I get one more chance to do it. I was at a conference and I heard a presentation from a planner from the city of Independence in Oregon. They had a quarry that was right in the middle of their downtown. He kept trying to put together a plan for when the quarry went away and said everybody said it's never going to happen. It's going to be there forever. But the thing was, what if? And sure enough, the quarry went away and they had their what if plans. So if you have your what if plans, so when things happen, you're prepared. It's really easy to get stuck in the day-to-day minutia and keeping your head down. But if you have your what if plans, when you pick up your head, you have a direction, you know which way you're going to go. The best part about that is that if you find yourself at a fork in the road, you'll recognize it and you can make an educated decision. And that was what I was trying to relay. We had a meeting with the new electeds earlier this week. So keep your head up, keep looking forward. I feel like that we've kind of lost some forward momentum the last couple of years. So I'm hoping that we can breathe some new life with the new staff, new electeds. We can get our what if plans together and really start looking forward and picking up our forward momentum. So like Michael says, thanks everyone for voting for me for 2 terms. It has truly been an honor being your mayor. So thank you very much. Okay, issues for next meeting.
I don't have any.
I have a draft resolution based on one passed in Olympia recently. I have a few copies for other.
For consideration at the next meeting.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and pass those around.
Dave asked what can we do at the last meeting, so.
Yep.
There's some ideas.
Can we put that on the agenda for
One for
next?
you, one for.
Yeah.
the next
Yeah,
mayor, and then 2 for. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Issues for the next meeting?
So I have 3 copies for.
Oh, yeah, one for us, for the staff.
For Wes, for the mayor, the new mayor, and for Tina.
Oh, okay. I'll make sure it gets.
All right, any additional public comment on things that have already been on the agenda?
Yes.
Mary.
That needs to be on the agenda too, so that we get used to it. Thank you very much. I want to take issue with Sheriff Shire. I'm sorry she left. I remember these discussions last year or whenever. And she is required to enforce the law in the cities, wherever. The county is not special. We're part of the county. And we contract with her for certain things. I think that needs to be clarified. And especially, we have our ordinances here in the city, and maybe the county hasn't caught up to noise ordinance yet. They just had a meeting in Skamania about the wedding venue at the old Grange building and all the noise that comes from there. So noise is a big thing, especially during the summer when we have a lot of parties going on and this and that. So code enforcement is part of the law. And it's maybe it's within the city limit, but I didn't care to hear what you all were discussing. I think you made the point, Dave. And as I said, I remember she has to follow the law and they have to respond to anything that happens in the city limits. And that, so, I think we need some clarification, about that. Thank you. And the mental health thing too. I really am worried about that. I think mental health is an issue. It's an issue for the sheriff's department folks, and they need mental health too as time goes on, because they're under so much stress, and the people they deal with. So I hate to see that taken out of the budget. And that, I think that will make a difference in the way people are treated and in the courts and in our society.
And-
Thank you.
And Mary, to respond to that, when we were talking about that within the negotiations, everything is now by telephone, and it used to be that, you know, our law enforcement would pick up someone, would bring them in. They would have a specialist come in and, you know, basically check them out. And if they were okay to be released at that time, then they would medically say they're okay to be released, and we'd let them go. If not, then we could institute a 72-hour hold. Sometimes that professional would say they need to go up for treatment. So all of that, God bless this, you know, that's the way it is now, and it doesn't seem, to me, it doesn't seem personal enough. And so I really appreciate your,
Well, I think this is something we can propose for the next legislative session, which starts January 12th
there you go.
with our officials and up in Washington.
Yep.
We're gonna
Thank
have
you.
to make some tough decisions, but mental health is important for everyone.
Yes.
Thank you, Mary.
Anyone else? I think that's everything, right? So wrapped up in our agenda. All right, well, this has been a very effective meeting. Looks like seven.
Wait.
No beer?
You're gonna get the last one.
Oh,
You're gonna get a video of the last gavel.
I shut my phone off. You got your phone?
Yeah, hold on. Get a
Video
video.
of him doing his last
All right.
hurrah.
Hold on.
Thank you all for being here tonight. Meeting adjourned, 7 p.m. Signing out.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm no longer a council member. I'm gonna send that straight to you.
Okay, do that.